80% of the people who make New Year's resolutions every single year, about 80% of them will fail their resolution by the middle of February. Now, if you're watching this video in the middle of February or at any point in the year and you count yourself among that 80%, don't click off yet. I'm not here to shame you because the problem isn't with you, it's with your goal. Let's face it, for a culture of people that revolves around setting goals, we suck at setting goals. New Year's resolutions are less about actually resolving to take action in the new year and more about just idle talk. Anybody who goes to the gym in the early months of the year will know this to be true. In January, the gyms are packed, but by February, not so much. In this video, we're going to talk about New Year's resolutions, goal setting, and how you can fix your busted resolution. The first problem with the way that we set goals is because of the way we prioritize willpower over the outcome. And this is a concept that the author talks about in one word. Although these resolutions are meant to be good and well-intentioned solutions, unfortunately, they are built on a flawed foundation of more effort, willpower, and goal setting. We set to-do goals instead of to-be goals. This approach ignores the most important part of life change: the heart. Plain and simple, the reason people will give up on their goals is because they're not achieving the outcome they wanted when they started. One of the biggest flaws with setting any kind of goal is setting it contingent on an outcome. For example, I will read 10 books a week. All of a sudden, when you're not even through your first book and it's Wednesday already, that can feel pretty defeating because you've set yourself a goal that is too lofty. With talk of New Year's resolutions beginning to spark up every December, it's often easy to get carried away in the ambition of trying to set an aggressive goal. Instead of setting a goal that's contingent on an outcome, change your goal to reflect a theme, or one word. One word is a really excellent read because it encourages the reader to, instead of creating a goal that's focused on lofty outcomes, to instead create a single word to help guide their decisions throughout the year. Say, for example, I chose the word health as my one word for 2024. I would then go throughout the rest of the year using that word to help me make decisions in my everyday life. For example, if there were donuts at work and I was using the word health to guide my decision, maybe I would avoid those, or maybe just have something a little bit healthier like a granola bar. If I was faced with the opportunity to either stay at home for the evening or go out for a walk, I might use the word health to encourage me to get up off the couch. If I was presented with the opportunity to either spend the night playing video games or meditating, I might use the word health to help push me towards doing a little meditation to help my mental health. The best part about a theme is that a theme can't fail because there's no outcome associated with it. The changing power of a theme can really help you make small decisions throughout the year that could accumulate to an awesome goal in the end. Each of these options points out the awesome power that is a one-word theme. I feel like these are a lot kinder to us than the typical aggressive New Year's resolution of turn your life around or else you suck. So if you found that you failed your New Year's resolution already, you might want to consider trying a one-word theme. My second tip is all about mindset. When setting a goal, it's important not to underestimate the effect of your mindset. If you truly believe that you will succeed in your goal, there is nothing that can stop you, and vice versa. If you believe that you're a little shaky on your goal, it might not take much to shake you. My first reading on this point is none other than As a Man Thinketh. This passage that I'm going to read comes directly from the introduction of the book, and it is one of my favorite openings to a book ever. The book of Proverbs proclaims, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." This adage reaches out to every condition and circumstance of human endeavor. Each of us is literally what we think, our character being the complete sum of all our thoughts. I cannot impress this idea enough from As a Man Thinketh, but your mind controls your reality. And if you want to succeed in setting your goal, you have to get your mindset on the correct track. Now, I could go into so much more detail on just this book alone, but this opening quote really reaches to the heart of the message of As a Man Thinketh, which is your mindset controls your reality. One of my favorite analogies from this book is when it compares your mind to a garden, and it explains that your thoughts are like seeds growing in this garden that will always produce a crop, whether they're good seeds, bad seeds, or nothing at all. When starting a New Year's resolution, you are essentially planting a seed in the garden that is your mind that's going to bloom into a big, beautiful plant by the end of the year. Keeping this in mind, of course, it is important to care for your plant. Negative self-talk is only going to tear you down, and that's going to kill your plant. The mindset that I try to channel in any sort of goal-setting environment actually comes from a finance book, believe it or not. The book is The Richest Man in Babylon and comes from a passage where one of the characters is explaining how he escaped from slavery. I looked across into the uninviting distance and once again came to me the question, have I the soul of a slave or the soul of a free man? Then with clearness I realized that if I had the soul of a slave, I should give up, lie down in the desert and die, a fitting end for a runaway slave. But if I had the soul of a free man, what then? Surely I would force my way back to Babylon. I staggered weakly to my feet. What mattered hunger? What mattered thirst? They were but incidents on the road to Babylon. Within me surged the soul of a free man. I thrilled with the great resolve. This passage gives me goosebumps because it is such a powerful mindset. This character in the book has become enslaved and managed to escape through hard work and wants to get back to Babylon, the beautiful life that he used to know. When setting a goal, I think it's really important to have that mindset of, am I a quitter? Am I somebody that's going to give this up? Have I the soul of a slave or have I the soul of a free man? Setting a goal is hard and following through with it is even harder. And along the way in sticking to your goal, you will be tempted to stop, no matter how easy it is. You will be tempted to give up, you'll be tempted to quit, and there will be people in your life telling you that it's not important to keep your goal. Keeping these two readings in mind when focusing on completing your New Year's resolution could be the crucial step that you need to give you that motivation to see your goal through to the end. My final tip comes from Keep Going, the third book in Austin Kleon's creativity series. And this tip is probably one of the biggest cheats in goal setting that I've ever come across. One of the passages in this book discusses how politicians can never change their minds. If a politician changes their mind, it makes them look weak, it makes them look unstable, it makes them look like somebody that can't be trusted. This is a mindset that has carried over into a lot of our daily lives, into our social interactions, even on social media. It seems as though we can't ever change our minds, and that's another thing that can feel really rigid and really defeating when coming up with a goal. I'm gonna hit you with a truth bomb. You're allowed to change your mind. Crazy, I know. If your goal is a bad one, or maybe your goal is one that you realize that isn't achievable, or maybe it's not even something that you want anymore, you shouldn't feel as though you have to see it through to the end. As long as you're continuing to reevaluate your goal and move in a forward direction and constantly be making progress, you should feel allowed to change your goal at any time. Resolutions aren't just for January 1st. That is going to do it for these tips. I highly recommend that you pick up one or even all of the books mentioned in this video. If you were going to pick one, it absolutely has to be As a Man Thinketh. This book has come up so many times on this channel already, and it's for a good reason. I can't recommend it highly enough. It's super cheap on Amazon. It's free on archive.com. If you need a New Year's resolution, here it is. If you have an idea for something you'd like to see me cover in a video, go ahead and let me know down below, and also feel free to tell me if any of these tips helped you. As always, be sure to like and subscribe to let me know that I'm doing good work and help other people see the good work, and maybe share the video if you know somebody who could benefit from some of this advice here. And until then, I'll see you next time.